Hey everyone, huge thanks to teacher Ricky for letting us do this deep dive on his channel.
Yeah, thanks, Ricky.
You're the best, Ricky.
The absolute best.
And to all of you listening, we all want to be great, right? But sometimes life just feels like one giant snooze button you can't hit.
You just want to keep hitting it over and over again.
Exactly. So to help us break out of that rut, today we're cracking open Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Such a good book.
It really is. Think of it as your playbook for ditching those old habits and reaching your full potential.
Yeah, your potential.
But not with some crazy, life overhaul. It's all about those tiny changes that add up big time.
It is. It's those small 1% changes.
Exactly. And those 1% changes, they really make a difference.
They really do over time.
It's awesome.
Well, great to be here, by the way.
Oh, well, it's great to have you. I'm so excited to hear your take on all this because, you've spent years studying habits.
I have, yeah.
In Clear's work, it's phenomenal. What hooked me on this book right from the start was Clear's own story.
Yeah.
He's a high school sophomore out playing baseball, and bam, bat to the face.
Oh, I know that story.
It changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking just like, a little tap on the nose.
No.
This is a broken nose.
Skull fractures, shattered eye sockets.
Seizures, coma.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, you name it.
It's a miracle he even recovered, let alone thrived after that.
It is. It's amazing.
Talk about a setback, right?
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is where I was like, whoa, this guy's onto something. Clear says tiny habits were his lifeline during recovery.
They were, yeah. It's incredible.
He had to rebuild his life, literally, one step, one tiny win at a time.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It really is. So this experience, it sparked his obsession with these atomic habits.
Exactly.
These seemingly insignificant 1% improvements that over time create this ripple effect, this massive result.
It's crazy how it happens, right?
It is. Like, he uses the example of the British cycling team.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah. They were the underdogs.
Total underdogs, right?
Yeah.
Nobody thought anything of them. And then they get this new coach, Brailsford, who comes in with this crazy idea.
Yeah, this crazy idea.
Of finding 1% improvement everywhere.
Everywhere. Like, seriously, everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they redesigned the bike seats, figured out the optimal rider posture.
They even, I don't know if this is true, but I read that they found the best pillows for better sleep.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was everything. From the tiniest detail to the overall strategy.
Yeah, yeah. Like a complete revamp, the whole thing.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I mean, they went from,
0 to 100.
100.
Dominating the Olympics and the Tour de France.
It's crazy.
It's like, wait, those tiny tweaks actually did that.
It's amazing. It's the magic of compounding, I guess.
The magic of compounding. It just flies under the radar, but it really packs a punch in the long run.
It really does.
So, okay, how do we actually do this, right? This is where I'm guessing the 4 laws of behavior change come in.
You got it, yeah.
This is Clear's framework for building these atomic habits.
Yeah, it's like his secret sauce, so to speak.
Okay, well, let's break it down.
All right, let's do it. So the first law is all about making those habits obvious.
Obvious.
Right. It's about understanding those cues that trigger them.
Like those little things that kind of send us on autopilot.
Exactly. Yeah, like, they did this study in a hospital cafeteria.
Okay.
Where they just rearranged the drinks.
Okay.
And just by making the water more visible and accessible, they dramatically increased how much people drank it.
Oh, wow.
Compared to, the soda.
So, like, the placement of things.
The placement?
The visual cues, they actually make a difference.
They do. They really do.
Like, if I want to practice guitar more, I shouldn't hide it in the case.
Right.
Maybe I need to, put it on a stand in the middle of the living room.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Out of sight, out of mind.
You want to make those cues obvious and, unavoidable.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the next law?
All right. Law number 2 is make it attractive.
Attractive.
Clear uses this great example of Ronan Byrne, who's this engineering student who was all about Netflix, but also knew that he needed to exercise more.
Sounds familiar.
Right.
Yeah.
And so being the genius that he is, this guy connected his stationary bike to Netflix.
Why?
So he could only watch his shows if he was pedaling at a certain speed.
That's brilliant.
Right. Talk about motivation.
Oh, he totally hacked his own habit loop by
He did, yeah.
linking something he needed to do
Yeah.
Something he wanted to do.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's something we can all do.
It is.
We just got to get a little creative.
Okay.
And figure out how to make those good habits more appealing.
Okay, 2 laws down, 2 to go.
2 to go, yeah.
What's next?
So the third law is make it easy.
Easy.
Right. You want to remove any friction, anything, any obstacle that's going to, make you hesitate, even for a second.
Okay.
And this is where the 2-minute rule comes in.
Okay, I've heard of this.
You've heard of it.
Remind me how it works.
Yeah, so the idea is to break any new habit down into such a tiny action that it takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Less than 2 minutes.
Right. And it's just to get started, to build that momentum and make that initial step as painless as possible.
So instead of trying to write an entire chapter, I just focus on writing 1 paragraph.
Yeah, or like instead of aiming for an hour-long workout, you just commit to putting on your workout clothes.
Don't put on the clothes.
Just put on the clothes.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. So by lowering the barrier to entry, you're more likely to follow through.
Way more likely.
That makes sense. It's like tricking your brain into taking action.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the final law?
All right. The fourth and final law, this is all about making the habit stick.
Okay.
And this is make it satisfying.
Satisfying.
Right. Our brains are wired for instant gratification.
They are. They are.
So we need to find ways to reward ourselves.
Oh, okay.
For those small wins. Like think about Wrigley's chewing gum.
Okay.
Back in the day, chewing gum wasn't really a thing.
No, well, I guess.
But they figured out that if they added flavors, and made it this like really satisfying experience, people would get hooked.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are you saying like every time I do something good, I need to give myself a little treat?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be food related.
Okay.
It could be anything that gives you a sense of accomplishment or pleasure. Maybe it's like checking off a task on your to-do list. Or seeing that little progress bar, fill up on your fitness tracker. Or, just enjoying a few minutes of quiet time after a challenging task.
So it's about finding those little dopamine hits.
It is, yeah. Those little dopamine hits.
They kind of reinforce the habit loop.
They reinforce that loop, make you want to keep coming back for more.
Yeah, okay. So it's not just about external rewards then. It's also about the internal satisfaction.
It is, yeah.
Of knowing you're doing something good for yourself, that you're making progress towards your goals.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's a good feeling, right?
It is a good feeling.
Yeah. So it's not just about doing the habit. It's about becoming the kind of person who does the habit naturally.
Now you're getting it. This is blowing my mind. I feel like I'm finally understanding how this whole habit thing works. But there's got to be more to it than just these 4 laws, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've just scratched the surface here.
Okay, good. So give me a taste of what else is in store.
Well, for starters, he talks about the importance of identity.
Identity.
In habit change.
So now this is getting deep.
It is, it is.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
We'll dive deeper into that after a quick break.
Ooh, a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back.
So we were talking about the importance of identity in habit change.
Okay, yeah. Give me an example. How does that work?
Well, Clear tells the story about Brian Clark, an entrepreneur who finally kicked his nail-biting habit.
Nail biting? Okay.
Seems simple enough, but there's a twist.
All right, I'm all ears.
He got a manicure.
A manicure.
Which, most guys wouldn't even consider.
No, probably not.
But for Clark, it was a total shift.
So it wasn't just about having nice nails. It was about something deeper.
Exactly.
Right.
He started seeing himself differently.
Okay.
Not as a nail biter, but someone who takes care of themselves.
Okay.
Someone with those clean, manicured hands.
Yeah.
His self-image changed, and the habit followed suit.
Wow. So it's about becoming the kind of person who does the habit naturally, not just forcing yourself to do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about those beliefs we hold about ourselves.
Okay.
If you see yourself as a healthy person, you're more likely to make healthy choices. You see yourself as a writer, you're more likely to write.
Okay, so it's like those habits become a reflection of who you believe you are.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else does Clear dive into?
Well, he also talks about finding your zone of genius.
Zone of genius.
This is the part that really resonated with me.
Zone of genius sounds pretty epic. What's that all about?
It's about identifying those areas where your natural talents and passions kind of intersect.
Yep.
Think of it like finding a game where the odds are stacked in your favor.
Okay, I'm starting to see the picture. It's about playing to your strengths.
Exactly.
Like, I remember Clear uses the example of Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, great example.
Phelps' body type, long torso, short legs, massive wingspan. I mean,
Good Lord.
he was built for swimming. He found a sport that, like, perfectly matched his natural abilities.
Perfectly matched. And it's not just physical, Yeah.
It's about, like, finding those things you're naturally curious about.
Okay.
The things that,
Energize you.
energize you. Yeah. Make you want to learn and grow.
Or the work feels like play. Right. I like that.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah. So, with all this talk about building better habits and finding our zone, it seems like the goal is to create this perfect system, this flawless routine. But I've got to admit, that can feel kind of overwhelming sometimes.
I hear you. And Clear actually addresses that in the book.
He does. Okay.
Yeah. He emphasizes the importance of reflection and making adjustments. It's not about reaching some perfect state and staying there. It's about, like, constantly learning and evolving.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about being flexible and adapting as you go.
Yeah. Like, he tells this story about the 1986 Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
One of the most talented teams in NBA history.
Yeah, Showtime.
But they had this tendency to, kind of let their efforts slip. They got complacent, right? Coasting on their talents.
Complacent, yeah, exactly. So their coach, Pat Riley, implemented this system called Career Best Effort, or CBE.
CBE, okay.
And it was all about tracking, quantifying every aspect of their performance.
So not just points scored, but like assists, rebounds, steals.
Everything, even turnovers.
They got super granular with the data.
Super granular, yeah, and they used that data.
What was the point of all that?
Well, to identify areas where they could improve.
Okay.
Even if it was just by 1%.
Just 1%.
It was about, like, constantly pushing the limits.
Oh, okay.
Finding those marginal gains.
So what gets measured gets managed.
Exactly. And this constant reflection and refinement, it was key to their success. They didn't just rest on their talent. They were always looking for ways to get better.
I love this example. But how do we actually put this into practice? Like, how do we build reflection into our own routines?
Well, you could, like, schedule a monthly or quarterly review session. Look back at your habit tracker, your goals, your progress, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what worked, what didn't, what adjustments do I need to make?
Yeah.
Cleary even has this, like, annual review.
Okay.
An integrity report where he takes stock of his year and sets intentions for the next one.
That's a good idea. What about journaling? Just, like, writing down your experiences.
Oh, that's huge. Getting those thoughts out on paper can bring a lot of clarity, both the wins and the losses. And don't forget to celebrate those wins, no matter how small.
Celebrate the wins.
It reinforces those positive neural pathways, keeps you motivated.
So we've talked a lot about the positive aspects of habit formation, but I'm curious, does Clear talk about the flip side at all?
He does.
Like how some habits can turn into those nasty addictions that we all struggle with.
Absolutely, yeah. He explains that the same mechanisms that drive those good habits, they can fuel the negative ones.
Okay.
It all comes down to the reward system in our brains.
Okay.
Those dopamine hits.
Yeah, those dopamine hits.
We get from, checking social media, indulging in junk food. They create cravings.
That's tough to break.
Tough to break.
It's like that instant gratification monkey on our back.
That monkey.
The more we feed it, the stronger it gets.
It just gets stronger.
Yeah. So what's the antidote? How do we fight back against that monkey?
Well, Clear talks about understanding the underlying motives behind our habits.
Okay.
He says that every behavior has this, like, surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive.
Okay, give me an example.
So you might crave a sugary snack.
Okay.
But the underlying motive could be a need for comfort or stress relief.
Oh, so it's not just about the sugar rush.
No.
It's about addressing that deeper need.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's about digging deeper and finding healthier ways to meet those needs. That often requires a mindset shift.
What do you mean by mindset shift?
Well, Clear talks about reframing your thoughts.
Okay.
Like, for example, instead of telling yourself, I have to go to the gym, try saying, I get to go to the gym.
Oh, okay.
It shifts the perspective from obligation to opportunity.
It's good.
Right. It's about focusing on the positive, the benefits you gain from those habits.
Okay. I can see how that small tweak in language could make a difference.
It can.
Yeah.
And here's another thing.
Okay.
Clear reminds us that we're not always in control of our environment.
That's true.
But we can control how we respond to it.
Okay.
He calls this stimulus control.
Stimulus control. Okay, break that down for me. What does that mean in practical terms?
It involves making changes to your surroundings to make good habits easier and bad habits harder.
Mm.
So, like, if you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep a bowl of candy on the counter.
Okay.
You know? Stock your fridge with fruits and vegetables instead.
Right.
Make those healthy choices the obvious option.
Yeah. It's like setting yourself up for success
Exactly.
by designing your environment to support your habits.
By designing your environment. Exactly. If you don't want to slip,
Yeah.
don't walk on ice.
Don't walk on ice. Okay, so it's not about willpower then.
It's about strategy.
It's about being smart, about how we design our lives to make those good habits more automatic and those bad habits less appealing.
You got it. And finally, Claire reminds us that success is not a destination, it's a journey.
Okay.
It's about striving for continuous improvement.
Okay.
Always looking for ways to get 1% better.
It's about embracing that growth mindset.
Growth mindset. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, progress over perfection. That's the key. And, we've covered a lot today, but it feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, we have. There's so much packed into Atomic Habits.
There really is. It's a total game changer for anyone who's serious about leveling up their life.
It is, yeah.
But not in that overwhelming New Year's resolution kind of way.
Right.
It's about those small, consistent actions that add up to massive change.
Over time. It's amazing.
It is amazing. So the key takeaway here, small changes done consistently can totally transform your life.
Totally transform. It's not about overnight success.
No.
It's about starting small, building that momentum, and trusting the process.
Trusting the process. And remember, it's okay to stumble along the way, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We all have those days where we fall off track.
We all do.
The important thing is to just get back on track as quickly as possible and keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Don't let those setbacks derail you.
Yeah, don't let them derail you.
Progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection.
All right, folks, with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Atomic Habits.
Great book.
I hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as I did. A huge thank you to Teacher Ricky for letting us share this on his channel.
Yes, thank you, Teacher Ricky.
You're the best, Ricky.
Absolutely the best.
You're the maestro behind the scenes, making all this magic happen.
The maestro.
And to you, dear listener, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Teacher Ricky's channel, and leave a comment below letting us know what other books you'd love to see us deep dive into.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
We're always looking for new adventures.
Always.
Until next time, keep those atomic habits rolling. And remember, greatness isn't born, it's built, one small step at a time.